Virgos! My virgin homies, what's up? Hi, my name's Alexis. Welcome to my astrology channel. And today I'm doing a full moon horoscope for you guys. There is a full moon coming up on August 15th, and it's gonna be in 22 degrees Aquarius. So I'm gonna tell you guys what's up. I feel like my vibe for every video changes, and it's creeping me out because I'm just kind of like, dang it, why can't I just stay consistent, man? But I can't help how excited I am because this stuff is really fun to do, and I really hope that all this resonates for you guys. Speaking of resonance, this horoscope will apply if you are a Virgo sun or ascendant, mostly ascendant, but yeah, just want to let you guys know. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of, this horoscope. So Virgo, this whole full moon shenanigans is going to be happening in your 12th house and your 6th house. Specifically, Leo is ruling your 12th house, and then Aquarius is ruling your 6th house. So the Sun and Venus are super conjunct. They're gonna be super conjunct on this full moon, like 0 degree orb. They're like super buddy. They're like together. And that's going to be in your 12th house. And then the moon is going to be in your 6th house. And then Saturn is going to be in Capricorn, and that's going to be in your 5th house. I will explain why Saturn is important to you. Well, for everybody, but I will explain why. So, with the Sun and Venus in Leo in your 12th house, this is a time for you where you've kind of sat down and you're kind of just sitting here like, okay, it's time for me to reflect and, be by myself for a bit. Like, lately, like with isolation, for you, Virgo, you find yourself best when you are alone in your thoughts in isolation. When you think about what happens to you whenever you're in isolation, whenever you're, deep in thought, whenever you're in that solitary state, that is when you really get to find yourself. And with the Sun and Venus in there, with Venus being conjunct to your Sun specifically, this has been a time for you where you've been trying to connect to yourself in isolation. Maybe, with this time of the year, you're not really hanging out as much with your friends. Maybe you're not really sharing as much. Maybe you've kind of been hiding in a little shell lately, which is cool. We got to have that. And that could have been that time for you. And the purpose of, doing this time of isolation is to ultimately reconnect with yourself and really find yourself in the solitude when everything is quiet and it's the best, environment for you to find yourself, and to really just, refresh and kind of recharge yourself. Like, this is a time for you to kind of rest. It's a resting time. Now, with the full moon in Aquarius though, this is when, the full moon is telling you hey, wake up, you can stay isolated however you want. Yes, you can find yourself there, but, the world keeps on going. And the world keeps on going specifically in the 6th house. And Aquarius rules your 6th house, and the full moon is going to be in there. So this is kind of like the full moon's way of reminding you, yes, you can find yourself in, the silent quietness of solitude. However, the reality is that the world is a bustling place. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of nitty gritty things going on. This could be a way for the full moon to kind of tell you, hey, you gotta pay attention for a bit. Pay attention to the little things. Yes, you've been, isolated and, you've been kind of, been reflective, but hey, get back into the real world for a bit and maybe take care of yourself. So if you haven't been drinking enough water, drink some water. I'm a hypocrite. I haven't drank a lot of water lately, so I'll go ahead and drink some water after this video. If you haven't cleaned your room, go ahead and do that. Do the healthcare stuff, in the grounded reality of things. You've been doing self-care in terms of being isolated, just being by yourself and really just, recharging everything within, but you gotta go ahead and kind of take care of yourself on the outside too. Do the self-care stuff. Do the little things. Enforce those good habits. Enforce that really good daily routine that you have. Go ahead and really enforce that. The reason why that you really want to do all of this is because the transiting Saturn right now is in Capricorn, which is in your 5th house. Now, the 5th house is the house of joy. So this is the house of happiness. Children are in this house. Your hobbies are in here. Your sense of creativity and inspiration is in this house. So this is the happy house. If the 5th house was an actual house, it'd be a bounce house. it's a fun place to be. And the purpose of all of this is that the main message for you with this full moon is that a lot of this is about you, enjoying life. A lot of this is about you being happy and really enjoying what life has to offer. And lately, you've been trying to have a little a little inventory kind of time where you kind of like look at yourself, take inventory of who you are and what you've done and what you can reflect on. You've been doing that. You've been thinking about it. But, what better way to improve, what better way to kind of have an enjoyable life by making sure all of the small things are squared away. You're not going to have a happy life if you got to pay your bills and your health is not so great, and if your habits are really wrecking you. This full moon is telling you to kind of fix those habits up, fix the little nitty gritty so that you can really enjoy life to the fullest, because that's your goal, right? With Leo ruling your 12th house, you've been trying to really know who you are. But another way to look at this is that maybe your habits define you, especially you as a Virgo rising. The little things really do matter. And with the Aquarius full moon, that is something you're really gonna have to think about. And the purpose of all this is for you to enjoy life. If you're wondering why the hell am I doing all this in the first place, it's because, damn it, you got your life, and the least you can do right now is try to enjoy it. And looking at the small things in your life can really help you with that. So yeah, that is going to be the astrological bit for your reading, Leo. So let me go ahead and kind of give you guys that tarot reading. So I'm going to do a 3-card reading, which will kind of tell you 3 things, three things you got to know about, this full moon. So yeah, let me go ahead and shuffle for you. Man, I'm starting to sweat from these readings. I can feel my armpits starting to soak. That was really TMI, but I don't know. Just thoughts. Okay, but really, I really am starting to sweat. It might be because my shirt's too hot. I might have to change to another shirt. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay. 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 So I got the King of Wands reversed, the Sun reversed, Queen of Coins reversed. So usually when it comes to courtly cards, I've seen a lot of people refer them to real people in your life. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know. Have you been a dick lately? Have you been a jerk? Have you been catty? Have you been bitchy? With the King of Wands reversed, I think of negative Aries energy. I think of a person who's really, controlling, a person who uses their energy for controlling means and not in a good way. So I think of someone who's kind of tyrannical, someone who doesn't really, know how to be mature. Now, I don't know who the heck this person is, but if it's you, I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, Wands usually represents fire. So, I don't know who this is, but maybe, it might be another person who's been this way to you and then they really suck, or this may have been you. Either way, with the King of Wands, there is this notion where you're using so much energy in the wrong way. And wrong way specifically with you being really controlling. And that's not good. Now, maybe this is another person, but maybe it's you. Now, I got the Sun reversed, and I really think that this kind of applies to Saturn in the 5th house because, Saturn's been in your 5th house for a while now, and lately you've been struggling to really just enjoy life for what it is. Like, Saturn the 5th can kind of restrict you from really just being creative, enjoying life and just really having fun, really. And, with the sun reversed, I feel like this is kind of like a nice card to represent what's going on, because the sun reversed kind of represents pessimism, not really feeling like, the world's a happy place. I mean, look at this kid. Like, this kid is on a swing. He is, like, living it. Actually, I don't know what this kid is, but this kid is enjoying life. But for you right now, I don't know. It doesn't really seem to be that way right now. It seems like maybe you have a very dark perspective of the world right now. Maybe you feel like the world is just not a good place. And I feel like this is something that needs to change. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if you've been having an overly controlling, reckless, bossy, terrible take on the world, or maybe like you've been having this sort of approach lately, mainly because you don't trust the world right now. You're just kind of like, the world's a terrible place, and terrible people, terrible world means I can do terrible things. Like, the world's not a good place, so why should I do something good and healthy? Like, there's a lot of that. And I think with Leo season right now, you've been sitting here and reflecting on yourself, being like, am I really proud of myself for those things? Am I really proud of myself for telling that person to go fuck off? Am I really that good of a person for trying to control this relationship? Like, I need to reflect, and maybe that's what you've been doing right now. I don't know who's been doing the bad, but I have a feeling it's you. But you've been reflecting, you've been thinking about it. Now, you got the Queen of Coins reversed. And this is my deck's message to you, telling you guys that, part of the reason why you may be feeling like this is because you're not really feeling so confident in yourself right now. You're not feeling so hot right now. And usually when the Queen of Coins is upright, I usually think this is the embodiment of confidence, a person who is self-assured, a person who doesn't need another to validate them. Like, when I see this, I think of self-sufficient confidence. That's what I think of. Someone who's grounded, someone who's really, confident in themselves, and they don't need anybody else. And for you, I think you've been trying to achieve that by being in isolation. But I do think that, if you do want to better yourself, I think that you may need to re-question the possibility for you to be happy. Because I have a feeling that if you don't see the world to be a happy place, if you don't enjoy yourself in life, if you don't really enjoy yourself doing the things that you love, and you don't feel that way because you just feel like the world is not a happy place, and because of that you can't be happy, you're not going to do some great things, and you're not going to be very passionate and very hardworking and all of that. You could be controlling and be really bossy instead, because you don't really trust that life will make you happy. And it's funny because in all of this, at the end of the day, the truth is that you're the only person that can make yourself happy. Like, you can't, you've been in isolation, so you've been trying to do that, but like, whenever you try to be controlling, whenever you try to be bossy, whenever you're trying to get control of the situation, that's a reflection of how insecure you are. And it's not going to help whenever you don't think the world is going to bring you joy. It's not going to help when you don't feel inspired by yourself. It doesn't help whenever you don't feel confident in yourself. So Virgo, this reading is kind of heavy. If there's anything that you need to know, it's that you need to believe in yourself, first of all. And hopefully, I think you are doing this, but I hope you are taking account of your actions. I hope you're being accountable with yourself right now. I think you are doing that, but man, this sun reversed here. You gotta, it's hard. Life sucks. I get it. But, life can be great. Life can be amazing. Life can bring you a lot of happy experiences, and you gotta be open to that. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video, Virgo. If you're watching this, stay good. And yeah, this will apply if you are a Virgo sun or a Virgo rising. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.